Yep, 0.6 of an inch for 10 shots there at 50, so I'm really happy with that one.
Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, today I'm checking out the Savage B22 FVSS 22LR rifle. So let me show you what it comes with. We've got a lock. I've thrown in a set of earplugs. There's a Allen key just to change the trigger pull. And last of all, we've got the manual. So just go ahead and clear it to start with. And we'll give you a run by of it. Now, it's just got that typical stainless steel synthetic look, which, you know, some people really like, other people like the more traditional look, but each to their own. So now it does come in 3 different rimfire calibers. So this one here is 22LR. It also is available in 17 HMR and 22 Magnum. Now the overall weight of it is 6 pounds or 2.7 kilos, so it's not, you know, overly heavy for a varmint type rifle. The barrel on it is 21 inches or 53 centimeters, so it's stainless steel and it's got that varmint profile. At the top there you can see that recessed target crown. Now the receiver is just a one-piece stainless steel. Now we've got on top just weaver bases that come with it, and I've just put on some loophole 1-inch rings and the cheap Bushnell rimfire 3-12 by 40 optic. Now I thought that'd be a good match for the Savage because, you know, Savage do make a lot of budget rifles, so I thought it'd be a good match there. Now the 10 round rotary mag here sits flush, so it looks a lot like the Ruger rotary mag really, but we've got a combination of polymer and metal, so there's a little bit of weight to it, and so yeah, it just feels a little bit different, something I'm not really used to. The trigger on this is the standard Savage AccuTrigger, so it's fully adjustable from 1 to 2 kilos or about 2.2 to 4.4 pounds. Now, the bolt on this, this is pretty interesting, guys. It has a floating bolt head, okay? So what they do is they just say that it simplifies mass production issues around full contact with the cartridge base and provides better accuracy. So look, I don't know in real terms what sort of advantage it's really going to give, but I mean, we're certainly going to test it out, you know, in this review. But when you have a look at the bolt, okay, so you can see there's a line there and it's got to line up before you can, you know, insert it into the action. But I mean, there's the bolt head, you know, it looks like it's going to screw off, but it doesn't. It just floats. So look, I really, the jury's still out on this one, guys. I've fumbled around with it a few times and I've been trying to put it back into the action. So you've just got to have it lined up. Now let's see if I can get it the first go here. No. So I look at it from a practical sense here. You know, if I'm out shooting and, you know, of a night time, for whatever reason, I've got to put a rod through, you know, just to clean the firearm. There we go. And then you're trying to insert it back into the action under low light. It may be fairly difficult. So, you know, that's a negative for me straight off the bat. But anyhow, we'll see how it goes. I mean, once we get out on the farm and if it, you know, shoots ridiculously well, I'm sure I could overlook that, you know, dislike that I have there. So the synthetic stock here is also designed to allow you to hold the rifle in a more natural position. So basically it puts less pressure on your wrist. So when you look at it here, like, it's a really ergonomic design. And I must admit, when I put this up to my shoulder, it does feel really nice, I have to admit. You've got the sling attachment at the rear there, and there's also one on the front, so if you want to put a bipod on there, you can. On the rear of the stock too, we've just got some textured finish on the polymer there, so nothing too fancy. So the recommended retail price here is $690. I have seen it cheaper on sale. I've seen it, around about that $590. So, we've just got a bad exchange rate at the present time, which obviously, increases the price that we pay here. Over in the States, I think these sell for like $320 or something around there. So very much a budget rifle, but the real test is going to be now we get out on the farm and we'll just put a few rounds down range and just see what this little rifle is capable of.
Okay guys, so let me run you through the ammo that we're going to use first off. So we've got a target up there at 50 yards, and I've got a selection of match, subsonic and standard ammunition here to start off with. So we've got Ely match, which is a 40 grain standard. Then we've got CCI standard, which is also 40 grain. Then we've got the Highland target, which is 36 grain hollow point. Then we go to the Winchester subsonics. Now they're a 42 grain hollow point. And then last of all, we're going to try the RWS subsonic, which is also a 40 grain hollow point. So a little bit of different variety there. So we're going to shoot 10 shot groups there at 50 and just see which one the Savage likes. Okay, so measuring the groups here guys, the first one was with Ely match. We had a couple of flyers out to the left there, but we've still come down to a nice 0.7 of an inch group. Then down to the CCI standard, I mean, it was just one jagged hole, but we had 2 flyers there. So it'll be a little bit tighter, I'd say. Yep, 0.6 of an inch for 10 shots there at 50, so I'm really happy with that one. Then up to the Highland, that spread terribly really. So the rifle didn't like that ammo, so we're out at 1.8 inches. Then when we come up to the Winchester 42 grain subsonic, spread a bit there too, we're about 1.5 inches. Then down to the RWS subsonic, I mean, we were just getting just one nice little hole there, but then we had 3 flyers which really blew it out, unfortunately. So we've come out probably about an inch somewhere there. Yeah, so probably just on 0.9 of an inch. If we didn't have those 3 flyers, I mean, geez, look at that, we would have been down well under half an inch, around 0.3 of an inch. So anyhow, so promising results so far, guys. Let's throw up another target and we'll get the high velocity ammo down range and see how we go. Okay guys, so let me run you through the high velocity ammunition now. So we've got the Ely high velocity, which is the 38 grain hollow point. Then we've got the Federal Hunter Match, which is a 40 grain hollow point. Then we've got the Winchester Power Points, which are 42 grain hollow point. Then we've got CCI Velociter, which is a 40 grain hollow point. And then last of all, we've got RWS 40 grain hollow points. So yeah, look, a wide variety of high velocity ammunition. So once again, as we did with the standard ammo, let's just see which one the Savage takes to. Okay, so the first group here was the Ely high velocity. Now we've come in about an inch there. A couple of flyers, otherwise we would have been well under that inch. Then when we come down to the federal hunter match, now we've had a flyer there which has thrown us out unfortunately, but we're down to just under an inch, 0.9 of an inch. If we didn't have that flyer there, we would have been down to a nice, yeah, half-inch group. Then when we come up to the Winchester power point, the 42 grain, it's thrown that. Rifle just does not like Winchester ammo. So we're about, 1.8 inches there. Then when we come up to CCI Velociter, not too bad. It's come in a little bit. So we're in at just on 0.9 of an inch for 10 shots there at 50. Then when we come down to RWS high velocity, bit of spread there unfortunately. I was hoping that'd do a little bit better, but we've come in at 1.2 inches. So I dare say, look, if for a hunting round, the CCI Velociter would be my favourite, but obviously the rifle is a varmint rifle, so I dare say I'd probably just stick with the CCI standard, you know, just for thriftiness, to be quite honest. It shoots really well. Okay, so I found the loading of the magazine pretty straightforward, guys. However, it can sort of jam a little bit and be a little bit finicky. So, because obviously the rotary magazine goes around as you're loading. So, some stages you like there, see? So it's not going in easy. You've just got to really push down on it. Now, in saying that, I haven't put any G96 on this, and there's probably a good chance that that'll smooth it right up. But yeah, it can be a little bit sort of you know, difficult to load. You've really got to put some elbow grease into it. However, the actual feeding from the magazine has just been flawless. I haven't had any problems whatsoever. Alright guys, I'm going to finish up my final thoughts on the Savage rifle. Now, look, I must admit, one thing I like now that I've been using it for some time is the action. The action feels really smooth. You know, at first when I got out of the box, I wasn't, you know, overly impressed. Nothing stood out. But yeah, when you use it, it's just got a really nice smooth feel, which, you know, normally you don't associate with such a budget rifle. So yeah, really quite nice. Very comfortable, good trigger on it. The accuracy, look, at the end of the day guys, rim fires are very finicky. The more you spend on the one particular ammo, a lot of the time it'll come in really nicely, you know, after quite a lot of shots. So look, from what I was able to test here today, I'm pretty happy with the accuracy there. You know, everything really is under that inch at 50, apart from a couple of ammos that it just didn't like. So accuracy is really good. I mean, you know, shooting out there at 100, you know, just hitting the rimfire spinner target, you know, being able to shoot some cans at that distance, it just shows you that the accuracy is definitely there with the rifle. Overall, the looks on it, quite nice. As I said, you know, bringing that up to the shoulder, it just feels really quite comfortable. So, guys, look, I'm pretty impressed with it. The one thing that I do not like is just that floating bolt head on it. I just can't seem to get my head around liking that, unfortunately, but that's just me personally. It doesn't seem to interfere with performance in any way, shape or form. It shoots very nicely. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, so till next time, we'll catch you then.